Hi, this is Henry Menezes, Deputy Chairman, All India Football Federation Technical Committee, former international football player Shiv Chhatrapati Awardee, highest state award from Maharashtra. And it's a great pleasure for me to actually be in this conclave where we're talking about the challenges on sportswear and activewear. And in this forum, I came to know how the importance of sportswear is for an athlete because I played at the highest level at the national team, and we went through the grind right from cotton t-shirts to acrylic to lycra and now polyesters. So it was very interesting to understand that our time we had a lot of difficulties in sportswear because when we talk about cotton t-shirts, the stretch was not there. It used to it used to give way at very embarrassing positions. Sometimes it was under the armpit or between our legs. So we were more dominant in cotton wear. So that's the reason why I suppose. But that was the option. We've gone through that. Then came the acrylic, which also had a little bit stiffness in the stretching because we athletes generally want sportswear which is very close to the skin, and very soon we came to know about polyesters and lycras, which were very beneficial for sports person. Today, you look at Messi or Ronaldinho, Baichung Bhutia or Sunil Chhetri, or for us Stephen Dias or Godfrey, in their eras, they had different types of materials coming in. But today we are talking about moisture, which a garment can absorb, expand, and then dry off faster, making it more cooler. Climatic sportswear also are in the makings, and it is very interesting to see because for sportsmen, it's the microsecond that can get you a world record or a national record, and that is very important. And we as sports person are not very much aware about the textile sportswear because that is where we lack today. When we were playing football at the time, say maybe 94, 96 or 2000, close to 2000, we were talking about Nike and Adidas and Puma, where we used to buy it from outside and use it here, including shoes. So being unaware, only thinking that it had a name, the top athletes were wearing it, we didn't know the scientific reasons behind this. Just imagine if football players or athletes understand the scientific reason behind this sportswear, how good it would be that every kid from the grassroots would use it to really make a mark. And I think that would make a vast difference, whether it is shoes, whether it is sportswear, activewear. I think everything is today. India, we're talking about the population of India, and 50% of the population is below 25. And if you look at 35 years old, they are about 65% of the population, and that shows that young parents and youngsters, teens, they are all into sports or entertainment, and that's going to be very massive for sportswears, for the business of sports and entertainment. Activewear, I think if you look at every park, you'll see the parks full. There are children going in, there are parents going in, young mothers, young fathers. Everybody's conscious about their self. And if you look at a 50, 55-year-old person, you will never determine whether he is 45 or 55. So that's the consciousness of people on fitness, and that's very important. But yes, coming over here, we understood many factors over here in this conclave, especially sportswear. Sports is all about passion. It's passion. Today, when we talk about football teams or athletes, we're only spending money on them because the passion that you see the athlete grow. This creates character, discipline, and makes a fantastic character, of a person sports. And that's the reason why today, when we work on athletes, from lycra it's come to compression, and that's the very important factor over here today. People know that polyester and lycra can expand, can moisture can be absorbed faster, it can expand, it can make your body cool, it can make your body hot. And also I feel today compression has become very important. So every athlete wants his recovery to become fast. That's why compression material, once you put in, it tightens your muscle. But even though, some people might complain that the compressions are too hard for an athlete to have some circulation problem, or maybe some sports don't allow too much compression on their bodies. So it has to have a first scientific where that how much compression has to be there and how it will protect the muscles, because if you jump one without compression, your body and tissues shake 3 or 4 times, which in turn takes a longer time to go back, because tissues are a very important part of the body after games which need to be repaired. And that's the reason why internally we take proteins and carbohydrates. This is what we talked about, proteins immediately after the matches. The same way, if the compression can really hold on to the body very well, I think it makes a fantastic recovery faster, because tissues are not as rampant as injured as without compression. So if you look at Messi or Ronaldo in a cold climate, they would always wear compression clothes, like one did. And these are something that the awareness is not there. Today, I myself, coming into this forum, understand such a fantastic bit about it, what Reliance is doing, what Bitcom is doing, what Sutlej is doing, and what are the dyes and how it goes, and how India was totally into cotton, and today we have more than cotton. You have fibers, and you've got everything that can be done, which the world is doing, and India has got so much potential to really get on to this as sports and entertainment. Like I said, 65% people are onto it, and so there's such a fantastic scope to really get into this business, but it needs compassion, it needs passion, really, to put in and understand this business. Important. I was very impressed with Reliance when they spoke about how they used the CSR initiative in building up, sportswear, when they started using PET bottles, plastic bottles, converting it into fiber, and then using it as t-shirts. It was phenomenal. I think when we talk about climatic conditions and saving the planet, I think that's a fantastic example, because they were talking about 2025. 18 billion people will not have water to drink, and we're going to use that much water for dyeing colors, and it is just injecting the fibers, and the colors remain longer. This was some education for me, actually. But I feel that sportswear and sports business is never going to die, because every day there's going to be record-breaking stuff happening, and number two is that this business is going to grow, but India has to take it more seriously, because India is growing in each and every sphere of sports. We had cricket, that's God's game. We had athletics with P.T. Usha and Saini William, and all of them used to take part and make India proud. But today, if you look at football, the ISL has come, the I-League, the professional league in basketball, baseball, you talk about badminton, table tennis, and various such sports have come onto a professional level, and there will be more understanding. So my only contention in this conclave was that there has to be more interaction between the federations and associations of athletes and industry, because industry does not understand the demand for sportswear, and I think that's where we'll have to point our fingers to say that there is a large demand for activities, but we have left it to the Nikes and Adidas. We need to have some Indian names getting up on it, because barely we see. I think that Indian national team has changed from Nike to an Indian brand, and that's fantastic. I think we need to grow things here, because we have huge amount of interest in sports, and I think we have the wizards of textile industry who can really make a mark into sportswear and activewear. And I'm sure that such forums where you get all industries coming in, understanding what the end user needs, is something that we talk about. And today I felt so contented that, wow, if such forum goes on and people bring in awareness from the grassroots, because I've seen small kids, they're using wrong footwears. And when you use wrong footwears, your arc, which is the most important part of an athlete, collapses. And when you collapse, you don't get an athlete from it. So it goes on from there, from grassroots. If you allow him to use the right kind of sportswear, right kind of activewear, right kind of footwear, we may not lose so many athletes that we've lost in ignorance. So it's important that we, through the media, try to bring out that the industry, the federations, the associations, I mean the National Association, the government, all of them work together to understand the importance of sportswear and active